Hello, my name is Ilona and today is Thursday, 22 of December 2022, and this is going to be my last video for my holiday. I'm still going to be on Telegram today and tomorrow. I still have a lot of things to do, but tomorrow, so Friday at 6 o'clock in the evening, I will just pull the plug. I won't be on Telegram. I will not look at my mails, things like that. I'm just going to be offline. Doesn't mean I'm going to be completely offline, but I won't look at those things. I'm just going to take a break from that. So if you do still want to send me some mails or something, you want to send me some messages, you can today and tomorrow. I still will reply as much as I can. But tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock, I'm going to pull the plug and I'm just going to relax, do my own thing. And I'll be back at least Tuesday, January 3rd, 2023. Maybe January the 2nd, but I'm just going to wait and see what's going to happen. Because usually with the new year here, there's a lot of celebrations going on. I live in the center of the small town I live in, and as usually I will just get some sleep around like 7 o'clock in the morning. So I need some time to, get back into my rhythm again. And I usually just watch movies and things like that at, the changing of the year. But there are a lot of people here celebrating, of course, the new year coming. And so I'll have to see how I feel after that. Of course, most likely on Monday, the 2nd of January 2023, I will start my Telegram channel, things like that again, and look at my mails, which I probably need some time to get back into that again. So we'll see, but I'm really looking forward to that, to just relax and do my own thing. So the cards I've pulled, the card reading I did is what I usually do for a month reading, but this time for my holiday period. So it's of course the Christmas time and the changing of the year. So what's going to happen? The first row is the energy, just what will be happening this period. The second row with 3 cards is the challenges, the blockades. The third row is advice, and the fourth row is more like at the end of this period, what will the energy be? So the first cards I got, this is the energy of the coming period, is the 5 of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups, and the 3 of Swords. So that's pretty heavy energies, especially with these two. So I do believe a lot of people feel left out in the cold, feel like they, have a lack of financial means. I think a lot of people are really feeling it now, that they may have trouble just, making it through the month. Paying for everything, especially this month, usually with the celebrations, it's a more expensive month, and they're really feeling it. They feel left out in the cold. They feel like the government doesn't care about them, and this is more worldwide. There's a lot of old pain coming up. It's been going on for a while now because the energies are racing around us. There's a lot of energy coming in, and it's very important that we connect with our emotions, with our feelings, with our intuition. And I do believe the people that are aware in this coming period, it will be easier for them to deal with things that have come up. But a lot of people are not aware of that, and they will start projecting all these things that actually come up inside of them, start projecting it outside of themselves, so they can get very negative or just fearful or angry, or it could implode and then they could get depressed, shut down, especially in these dark days for Christmas. There's less light. A lot of people are noticing that as well. So this is a heavy period for a lot of people, and especially when old things are coming up, old pains, and they're not dealing with this, it's going to get very exhausting for them. And like I've mentioned, they can lash out, or they can really start shutting down themselves. It depends on the character of how they deal with things. Some people just throw it outside of themselves, and some people keep it inside of themselves. But this is a very heavy period we're facing for the Christmas days, and so the next week or so we can have there. It's heavy, especially all things coming up. The blockade and the challenges. I have the Four of Cups, I have the Moon card, and I have the Hanged Man. So it's very important for people to deal with how they feel dissatisfied with what's going on. They could feel a bit apathetic, like, I really don't, lethargic. It's almost like they don't want to deal with the emotions, with the feelings that could come up. So they kind of shut down, which is, of course, what we got with the Five of Pentacles as well. Especially with the Moon. So old fears can come up. This is very connected with the Three of Swords. So old pains, old fears can come up. The unconscious will show its face, and it's up to us to follow that yellow road, so to speak, as you can see in the middle. It is up to us to find our way through that by changing our perspective and looking inside of ourselves. The Hanged Man is hanging, obviously. That's why it's called the Hanged Man. But he's not busy with other things. He's not looking distractions. He is focused on himself. And it's a bit similar to the Hermit energy. So I do believe that the challenge is to really remain connected with yourself. Look at things differently, different perspective. Look at your fears differently. Do not let them take you over, or that you shut yourself off from what is offered to you. This cup is offered to you to deal with things, because it's just going to get tougher and harder to really connect. So I do believe for the people that are already awake, working with consciousness, this period can bring so much change. It can bring a new perspective. It can bring a connection, deeper connection with yourself, with your emotions, your intuition, with God. But for people that are not aware, not working with this, it's going to be tough. I think it's going to be a tough time ahead for this Christmas, this coming week and a half. The third row is about the advice, and I've got the Six of Wands, I've got the Ace of Wands, and I've got the Eight of Swords. Very interesting cards. So this is really about, the advice is to really step into our own strength. Step out of this victimhood. Step out of this feeling that there's nothing you can do about this, that you feel overwhelmed. This is really, she can just step out of this. She can just leave this behind, take off the blindfold and walk away. And I think it's very important, especially the advice, look for what makes you happy. What gives you this passion, this feeling of, oh, this is wonderful to do. We need to find that as well. Obviously, we need to deal with old pains, old fears, old anger, but we also need to find what makes us happy. What's really making me feel like, oh, I want to do this. Maybe it's reading certain books, maybe it's doing certain creative things, or maybe it's just talking to people or opening up. Just what makes you happy. That's what the Ace of Wands is about. The advice is to really start working with your energy so you can feel more powerful. This is really about victory. Maybe there are old habits you want to leave behind. Usually at the end of the year and the new year beginning, this is a great time to change things and look in a different perspective. But see what makes you happy, what that gives you that happy feeling. Oh, I want to do that. See if you can start doing that. It doesn't have to be something big. You can start very small. But it's very important. We need to step away from this victimhood. And the coming 1.5 weeks, this will be the main focus. You know, a lot of people will have holidays. And of course, you'll be in a way, how to say this, you'll meet your family, you'll see loved ones. A lot of things will come up in this period. And it's also a very expensive period. So things like that are coming up. Very important to step out of this. See what makes you happy. See if you really want to go through with things, certain celebrations with people. If it doesn't feel right to you, make your own decisions. Be strong enough to see, what do I really want to do with my time and with my energy. Now, the last three cards are really the end of this period. So around January 2nd, January 3rd, we have the Three of Wands, we have the Knight of Swords, and the Four of Wands. And this is very interesting. The Three of Wands and the Four of Wands are quite positive cards. So I do think that in the new year, there's like this new energy of connection. I think a lot of people will find more connection, and there will be like a new energy, like people starting to feel that. So I think a lot of people will be more hopeful in the beginning of 2023. It will be a different energy, a different way, but also just letting things happen. It's very important that we stop controlling everything, because by controlling everything, we also try to force things. And usually, especially if it's concerning family or friendships or, relationships, that's not really the right energy. And really, this is about leaning backwards, like see what's coming your way. And I think that's a very good attitude to have also in the new year. Just step back for a minute and let things happen. And even if people are maybe negative around you, especially the Knight of Swords, probably has to do with some dark energy still trying to change things, just step away from that, even if you have that in your environment. Also see if you want to be surrounded with people that are not respectful and not acting with consideration towards you. It's very important that we take a stand in that and just step back. Of course, if something triggers in you, work through that, but make your own decisions what you want to do with your energy and where you want to focus on. Very, very important. I also want to mention about the whiteheads. Of course, I call them the whiteheads, although I see them differently than really just fighting the dark energies. So maybe I should work on another name. I'm not sure. Greyhead, it's not really what I mean. With the whiteheads, I see them as an extension of the changing happening in humanity. We are waking up. We becoming more and more conscious of who we truly are. We are spiritual beings in a human experience. And the more changes people are making towards their energy, of course, we're going to see that outside of ourselves as well. And of course, the dark energies, they are very negative, disconnected from God, disconnected from source. And I see the whiteheads not necessarily just connected to the light, but more in a balanced way. It's almost like they're working with the dark energies and the light energies and creating a balance. So it's not necessarily that they are the other side of the dark energies. That's not how I see the whiteheads. And I see each and every one of us that's working with our energies as whiteheads. We are all creating a new balance for humanity. So I see the whiteheads more as a balanced version, working with the dark energies, balancing it out with the light energies. Not that they're just light, because then of course they are the other side of the medal, and we don't want that. We want balance. That's what we're trying to create in this world now, the balance of the masculine and the feminine principle balanced. And that's how I see the whitehead. So not necessarily as just the good guys, but more the balanced guys. So I'd like to just want to mention that. Like I said, maybe I should come up with a better name. I'm not so sure. People do understand when you talk about dark heads or the dark energies and the white heads, that it's easier to, understand the sides. But in essence, the dark energies is one side, and I see the white heads as the balance of sides. Like changing this, we're clearing our energy, so we're going to see that in the outside world as well. That's why we can have this wait and see attitude towards what's happening outside of ourselves in the outside world. Other forces are working with us to help us in that, but we have to focus on ourselves, change our perspective, deal with what is coming up inside of ourselves, connect with that. All our fears or all our old pains, we need to focus on that. Change that. That's how we clean things. That's how we become balanced. And when we become balanced, we will shine that balance and we will create balance in the world around us. So important. So really look for things that make you happy, that make you strong, and step into your strength. Step out of this attitude that you're dependent on things outside of yourself. We're not. So this is a very interesting, but I do believe at the beginning of 2023, a lot of people are going to be more open, seeing just what's going to happen, more trust and more connection, feeling this better energy. And even though there might be some negativity going on, the celebrations, the energy of connection is way stronger. it's a lot stronger than the dark energies. I really think we've already been turning in the energies, but we're going to see that more and more. So I want to leave it at this. I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas and an incredible 2023. I will be back on at least Tuesday, January 3rd, 2023. And well, I hope you enjoy this period ahead, and I'll see you hopefully in another video. Bye.